I'm Zoe, and I'm Paranormal Extraction, and I'm your supernatural light worker, and yes, I am the interviewer of the supernatural as well. Today we have Britt, and she's going to be speaking about what is an empath. I mean, what is an empath? I don't know. After I talked to her, I thought I knew, but I don't know now. So here we go. Here's Britt. Awesome. Hey, Britt, how are ya? How you doing?
Good. How about you, honey? Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm doing great.
Thank you.
Wait, get up. How about you?
Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate it. So I just want to just kind of recap for everybody. When I spoke to Britt, we always do like a little phone consultation on the phone first. And I know about what an empath is, but when we started talking, our conversation went into like 2 hours. And she's so knowledgeable about a multitude of subjects that I just said, look, I can't even believe what you're talking about here. So let's just go with this one topic because I don't know anything. I mean, what I got, Britt, and I always take my little notes here, and this is just kind of what I get, and then I'll let you roll on what you know. But what I know is that empaths are highly sensitive, and they have a lot of highs and lows. That's me for sure. I feel the emotions of others, okay, or you may. I take on the energy of others. I can be easily drained by negative energy. That's a big one. Also, strangers always ask you for advice. That would be another one that I have. My intuition is accurate about others. I feel drawn to help people. Social situations can be bothersome. Oh my God. That's why I like being in here with a video. And you can be a human lie detector test is what I call it. Boy, you can tell when someone's lying. So I'm going to hand it off to you to talk about what is an empath. And I'm going to probably not say a lot because I know you have so much to say. So let's hit it, girl. I want to hear about what you have to say.
Well, I mean, you hit on the head with a lot of the things that an empath goes through daily. But in reality, we are the batteries. We are the garbage cans of this world. And the energy flows. We are like the black holes. We take on the negative energy and push out positive energy. And we are constantly trying to drain and get rid of the negative and try and push out the positive. And it's extremely exhausting for ourselves. You know, when people come to you in the grocery store and they just dump their entire life story and their emotions, and they get like so overwhelming, and you're like, oh, I can't breathe, and you start to feel it.
Britt, I gotta tell you,
I
get like that. I really, really get like that.
Yeah,
I get so drained. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
It's because you are. No, it's okay. It's because they are literally finding faucet to dump this into, and you are the drain for them to let them let forth all that energy that's drawing them down, and you are the person that they are giving it to, and you are supposed to take it and just flush it for them. Right. You are meant to be that flusher. And we are there to take on all of that energy that they don't know how to disperse. And we are to flush it and disperse it back into the universe, but we are to help them reboot and recharge their energy.
Yeah, but you know what?
We are. Empaths as a whole.
I don't want to reboot and recharge somebody else. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I get it, and it's exhausting, but that's what we are meant to do. I mean, I get it, trust me. I'm on a night schedule most of the time so that I'm not in the middle of everyone all day long because it's exhausting for us.
Yes, it is.
And it's draining for us. And my husband is my grounder, and he is the person that helps me, as I like to say, shut on and off my faucet. and he helps me to remember to shut it off some days when I'm just like drained completely by people's energy. We, as a whole, forget that it's okay to take care of ourselves because we are so used to being that drain and that faucet to replenish people that we would forget to replenish ourselves.
Exactly, right.
And so it's very, very exhausting for a lot of empaths. And we just, as a whole, it takes us a very long time to realize that that's what we are. And that's what we have to do, though, for self-care, because otherwise it drains us and our force and our energy way too fast. We're not replenishing ourselves.
A lot of people that
other empaths help each other.
Yeah. I noticed that a lot of empaths too will use drugs or alcohol or other things to cover up that feeling that they're having inside, or even, caffeine, or it's really met a lot that are into drugs or alcohol, which I don't do, and because they need to shut up that voice or that feeling. Okay, there you go.
That they're trying to self-care. They're trying to shut down that faucet. But the problem is that by shutting it down while they're on that drug, it's just going to drip faster and flow more violently when they're off of it until they know how to cope and actually handle that energy.
You're right.
And so my husband and I, we went through a serious, flushing of our systems a couple years ago. I was at a point where my body was breaking down from having to be drained all the time, and I was just exhausted. And I got my autoimmune disorder. Everything started to hit at once. And I found that the only way to recharge positively and still keep my energy up was fruit. I eat tons of the positive energy that comes from our earth to then help me balance out the negative that I'm constantly having to flush. And then I can help other people. So when I'm doing my therapy sessions with people, they tend to come in and there'll be some that are really, truly just exhausting. And if I know they're coming, I eat fruit before they come. So that way I can boost my positive battery and I can get that positive battery really, really charged. And then that way when they're sitting next to me and I can be that energy for them, they can relax and they can dump, and I can take what they have and then dump it when they leave. And a lot of the time it takes me a while to dump it, but I found that water really helped me to just flush it down the drain. And I would literally just imagine that water hitting me in the shower, straight down that drain and taking that bad energy and just completely washing it away for me. And that is where empaths, we don't know how to self-care. We don't realize that we are the shamans of this world. We are the ones who, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. We are the ones that basically are very much the constant recharging of the energies, but we are here to make sure that flow continues beautifully. We are here to help balance that negative energy out. And right now,
how do we do that? I mean, how do we do that? I know you're talking about water and you're talking about obviously foods, but how can we tell somebody what can they do to when they're feeling this way, or is it just water? Is it food? I mean, what else can they do? Is it meditation? Is it?
There's so many different facets for so many people, and I get asked all the time, do you meditate? Do you fast? Do you do Reiki? You know what? I found for me that I don't really meditate. I seclude myself. I put myself, as my husband likes to say, go to your cave. I have my own little area
You sound like
And-
me. Oh my God. Yeah, in my cave. Yes.
Exactly. We go
Okay.
to our cave, and
Oh.
I have my dim lights, I have my salt lamp, and I just veg. And I breathe, and I just disconnect from the energy around an outside world. I turn off my phone. I put it in the bathroom so I don't even look at it. And I just diffuse, whether it be reading, whether it be even watching a TV show, which I don't watch TV actually normally. So a lot of time that just kind of focuses me out enough to kind of like get out of my own head. And I just sit down and I have my bowl of berries or whatever, and I know it's bad, but my little chocolate, because my chocolate helps re-energize me
Yes.
for the magnesium, because magnesium is really a big thing for us. We need magnesium. We are magnesium deficient. And it's because we're putting out so much battery power that our magnesium is lowering. And so for me, I do my little bit of chocolate and I just sit in my room. And sometimes if it's really hard, I'll take a shower and just wash down. And it's, it's the little things. It can be me sitting outside and putting my feet in the water in the pool or in a pond or a lake or a creek and
Wow.
just breathing.
Right.
I find grounding out, putting my bare feet down on the ground, even outside, and just sitting there in a chair for 10, 15 minutes helps tremendously. It helps to recharge ourselves and our batteries and our energies, because that's what this whole planet is. It is nothing but a large planet of energy. It's a ball of energy.
Yep.
And we are just like the sun. Only difference is we are not combustible yet. And so we are literally a life force that is just moving and generating. And we're a ton of molecules that are just beating up against each other. And if we don't relax down, that's where our explosions happen. And that's where the anger and all of these issues that are going on in big cities happen. So when you get all of those molecules so tight together and they're not relaxing, it gets to the point where you have your combustion. Well, if you relax yourself and ground yourself and just slow yourself down, go out and go sit in a park or go out and take a hike, go in your cave, it'll help to slowly lower down the vibration of your molecules so that you can relax it in order to get the higher vibration that you needed of energy back from expelling all that energy. And that is where a lot of people don't know how to cope, because we've been taught to continue to run on this rat race and not slow down. We've been told don't slow down. We've been told do not relax.
That's right.
What are you doing? Why are you relaxing? Get up. There's work to be done. There's work to do. Go. But we need to relax. We need to, as I always say, embrace the sloth mode. Go a little slower, go a little lighter, just slow down. When your energy is really drained, slow down, slow your steps down, breathe, take your shoes off for a minute, walk barefoot for a minute. Even if it's on the concrete, I've noticed it does help.
Right.
If it's just taking off my shoes and standing there for a minute, it helps. All of those things are big things. Most people that work in an office, they don't understand why they take their shoes off all the time. And when they're sitting behind their desk, it's just because they feel comfortable. What they don't realize is they're grounding themselves out while they're expelling energy.
Right.
And a lot of the time that's helping them to feel comfortable, because that's how we're meant to be. We are batteries on this earth.
Well, you're giving like
a lot of empaths.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but you're giving some really good information, and that's doable for a lot of people, because when what you're talking about is manageable, it's real, it's reality, it's what like you're talking about food, and just you don't have to meditate, you don't have to go sit with a guru, you don't have to take a workshop, you don't have to read a ton of books on this. No. But for me, my life, if I don't go for my walk at the lake every day and get out in nature, I know I can become a serious, serious mess. So it's like one of my number one priorities is taking my dogs for a walk. I work my whole schedule, Britt, around taking my dogs for a walk around this big lake that I'm at. And it's my dumping ground. But also I know a lot of people, and I do this, and maybe you're not into it, but I do a lot of sage, and then I use pine, and then I use sweetgrass, and I use those type of modalities. Also, I use a form of spirituality, which is Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Ariel, and Raphael. I pull those in, and I do meditate. So those are the things I use, but I'm nowhere near what you're talking about. I'm learning about you. Like, I know about my magnesium, but I'm going to buy some magnesium after we talk because I don't have any more and I haven't been using it. So I'm learning from you. So go ahead again. Woo!
Boy, you're way.
Woo! Girl, you just go.
A lot of it is too. A lot of it. A lot of it is that everyone has to find their niche. You know, for me, I don't have the time. I'm a mom. I have my own business. I do a lot of charity work. I'm constantly going to others because I know that that's what I'm here for. And so between my animals that we rescue and everything else, I don't have the time to stop and say, okay, wait, I'm going to go do Reiki right now. I really don't. So I do have the time to say, you know what, hold on, give me 5 minutes and I'm going to go recharge my batteries, or give me an hour and I'm just going to go sit in my room and just breathe for a minute and recharge myself.
Yes.
Every morning.
I like that. I like that.
I
It's
have
very
this
doable.
mantra for myself. And for me to get up and get moving and really get going every day. And it's my, everybody says, I wonder what your secret is and how you stay so positive. And every morning I have oils that I've made for myself that I put on. And while I put them on, I have a mantra. And it's just 10 words, and it gets me through, and it helps me think positive thoughts and energies. And it helps me to, and while I'm putting on my oil, I just imagine coating myself in a protective bubble of just positive light energy.
Exactly.
And for that 3 minutes that it takes, it literally helps you to manifest your day of positiveness and also charge that battery with super high energy, so that as I go through the day, even if they're draining me, they're only draining little increments.
Right.
Even if I have somebody that comes in that's really, really, really strong draining, I know he's coming or she's coming, and I take that fruit and I eat it, and I try to give myself a minute right before they come in, and I try to charge myself. And then I deal with them. And when they're done, usually I make them my last appointment of the day so that I am done.
So
I can go and I can recharge myself with food, with, a drink, with water, whatever it may need I to do, I will go from there and do it. My husband and I know that even some days when it's a really, really bad week and I just have so many at once that are very I need your energy, I go and I take a long drive out in the middle of the desert, and I just keep driving until I'm like, okay, I'm okay. The serenity, the energies are gone.
Yes.
I stand out in the desert for an hour, and I just look at the stars, and I breathe, and then I get back in the truck, and then I drive home. And those little things that you do are the things that keep your sanity. I had a woman years ago tell me when I was young, and I've known my energy was like this since I was young, and she was a mentor to me, and she told me, put cookies in your cookie jar. If you don't put cookies in your cookie jar, you're feeding everybody else's cookies. You're going to starve. You need to replenish your cookie jar. You're putting it in everybody else's, but you're starving yourself. And she was right. And I was like, I need to do that. And she said, even if it's a bath, even if it's, sitting down and just eating a sandwich by yourself and looking out into the world and looking at it and just having a quiet moment, put your headphones in and jam out to your music, whatever it may be, put cookies in your cookie jar.
Okay, I have a question.
I implement that. Okay.
I have a question for you. I mean, I understand about you definitely need to do that. But through these times, what I've noticed is that people are becoming agoraphobic now. Because they've been alone and they're in their house. So when they go out, and this has happened to me, okay?
Yes.
When I go out, like if I have to go to a doctor's office, the energy out, not necessarily from a person, but the energy out in the environment, I can't deal with it. I need to get out, I need to go out, but I get so freaked out when I'm out because of the energy of this coronavirus and then the fighting and everything that's going on. All I can think about is I want to go home. So at the same time, I want to go out, but I don't.
Well,
then you have to, because you have to start becoming part of society. So tell me what you could do then, because this is happening not just to me. I talk about this in the grocery store, and it can be from another empath, or it can be from someone who isn't an empath. We're freaking out. So what can we do?
a lot of that is the energies right now. Like I was saying before, the combustion of all those energies getting really, really tight and really, really close. And so what I tend to find helps tremendously on my end is to, I find crystals that help me to balance out a bubble for me and to ground me. And I mean, I put on obsidian to help me ground. I have my organite to help me ground. I have, different crystals that help me, like citrine, with the negative energies, and also to try and balance out anything that I know can't do well. And I put it in her,
Right.
and I carry it. And I just, I found that while I'm on my way to the store, while I'm on my way to work, or while I'm at work and there's going to be a lot of people, I put on my reggae station. I know it sounds funny, but
so
I put on
you're
like
saying,
a good feeling music station.
You're saying music then.
To give me that good little energy.
So you're saying, okay, so we're looking
It
at,
helps to drown out some of that energy.
okay, so music, and then you're talking about stones. People don't know about what they are, but they can get these particular
Yes.
gemstones at on Amazon. One is obsidian. What's the other one that they can buy? You said obsidian. You can get that on
Organite,
and citrine.
Organite, clear quartz. Yes, citrine is good for me because I do take on a lot of energy from other people. So it's to help me balance out some of their energy. Crystal quartz works beautifully. Malachite, it works really good to also balance out. I tend to find there's little things here and there that really just, even my oils will help some days. I just make sure to put on something that's very light and reminds me of the islands. And like, I try to my bubble, and I try to coat my bubble around me, and I try just to enjoy my bubble. And a lot of the time, my daughter likes to refer to it as Bella from Twilight. She's like, Mom, you're a blocker. And that's what it is, because
Yes.
I will block and bounce that energy out and away from me. And it gets to the point where I've learned to hone it very well. I bounce out even electrical. So it gets really enticing with some people. They love it and they want to be near me because I bounce out all electrical components from me. But I'm bouncing out all of the energy too from other people. So you just got to learn to really encode yourself for the bubble. And
Yes.
really just make your bubble this beautiful, and envision it around you at all times of this just positive energy. And anytime that you start to see somebody else's bubble coming close to you that is not a good energy and you can feel it, you just avoid it and walk away, or just
Yes.
acknowledge by saying hello or nodding your head, but just keep walking. And it's very hard for us to feel like that's okay for us because we've been so pre-conditioned that we need to engage with everyone.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Well,
you don't have to engage with any of them.
I agree.
You don't have to.
I totally agree with you because like when let's just say I'm walking at the lake and all of a sudden I walk by someone, all of a sudden I'll feel kind of weird. Okay, I'm just giving you guys an example. Like just all of a sudden you might be really up or really happy, and then all of a sudden you walk by this person and all of a sudden you feel like you want to sleep or something and you're thinking, God, what is wrong with me? But for me, I already know what that is. I know it's their energy, not my energy. So when I walk by, I'm like, whoa, that's what I do, and then I'm okay. That's all I do is I literally say it out loud. Whoa! You know, I don't care what they have to think because I've got to take care of me, just like what you're talking about. You're talking about we need to take care of ourselves.
Yep.
Right?
No, and it's true. You shouldn't worry about whatever anyone else thinks because that's part of the ego. And if you're worried about what everybody else thinks, you're still worried with your ego. And we need to stop being encased in ego because we've been so encased in ego and worrying that we're okay for everyone else, that we're not worrying about us and we're not taking care of us. And once you drop ego and just deal with spirit, you realize that this, no matter what, is a high energy. And there's so many things that I feel from people. I can literally, and that's why I use citrine too, is I can literally just stand by somebody or walk past them and I can feel in their guts or in their legs or in their arms where their pain is and where their toxicity lies.
Wow.
With their diet even. And a lot of people don't understand when I say like, oh my God, what's going on? I can feel you. And I have tons of clients that look at me and go, you're psychic. And I'm like, no, I've connected to your energy and I can just feel your energy. And it leads me from there to show you what is going on so I can help you. Because that's really what it boils down to. I have clients that come to me, you know, I'm an artist and a tattoo artist, and I do a lot of art, and they'll come to me and I tell them, I'm your interpreter. I am interpreting your energies and your life force, and I am pulling it from you and then giving it back to you in beauty and making it so that way you can see it tangibly and feel it can boost you and your morale on a daily. And you know, a lot of the time people come to me just even to talk in therapy, and I can feel it before they even walk in the door. I mean, I had a kid the other day that walked in and his friends were in my chair and I could just feel the energy. As soon as he walked in, I had a migraine really bad. And I was like, wow. And I looked at the friend and I said, what's going on? He's going through a lot right now. And he's really like, his heart hurts. And they said to me, excuse me, because I do get emotional. They said, you know, he's going through a really, really bad breakup and he doesn't know how to handle it. And all I could think of was this poor kid is stuck in his head.
Wow.
And I could feel it.
Oh.
And so I sat down with him and I said, look, you know, you got to find that energy to let that go. You've got to realize that that is not going to make or break you. If this was meant to be, it would be, and it would flow. And if it's not flowing and you don't feel like you are drawn into that current properly, then you're fighting that current. And when you fight it, you're going to exhaust yourself. And he was like, you know what? You're right. And that's what we're doing in life, though, is we're not flowing with our currents. We are fighting them, and we are fighting that exhaustion is starting to build, and we are getting to that explosive point because we are so overwhelmed with the, as I call the mosh pit of energy right now, because that's what this is. It is a mosh pit of energy. Yes. And people just don't know how to avoid the outskirts of that mosh pit and just kind of still flow around it. They're so focused on going through it because they feel like they have to. And you don't have to go through that energy. Go on the outskirts and still get there. It just may take a little time. So you just slow down and be a little sloth and be okay with that and know that, you know what, I'm still going to get there. but I need to just slow down and breathe first. And you need to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you go through that energy, you're going to get bounced off of, you're going to get tons of damage, you're going to get beat up in your own ways, and you did it to yourself.
Now, what I do, one of the other things that has really helped me a lot, since a lot of people stay at home, they watch the news. And a lot of my friends who are really into spirituality, we're into being light workers, that we want to watch the news, but we've all shut down from the news. We've all said no more news. And now everybody that I know who's, very spiritual, they were having difficulties. They're like, well, this day was like this, or, now everyone's shut down from the news. Everyone's doing so much better, including me. I just can't do it anymore. So that would be a recommendation.
What it is, okay, so
no news.
I definitely recommend it. I tell people all the time, turn off your phone, turn off your TV, and look at the world around you, because the world around you is what's happening, and that is your bubble. And the TV is somebody else's bubble somewhere else that is just trying to push your bubble into the direction that they want.
Exactly.
And so you need to learn to walk away from it, because in reality, do you know 90% of the people they talk about? Do you know 95% of the people they talk about? Do you see firsthand that going on in front of you when you turn off that TV? And if you're not seeing it firsthand, that is not your bubble of your reality. As I like to say, I don't watch the news because it messes with my reality. This is my reality.
Yeah, exactly.
My reality is daily life.
Right.
My reality is what I encounter every day and who I encounter every day. And I can worry about my family and friends. And if I hear there's an earthquake somewhere or a hurricane, I just kind of touch base. Hey guys, how you doing? If I don't hear back from them, then I'll start to worry. But usually I know that most people can handle themselves. They can. They have to. We've decided to, travel and do things. And your tribes are spread out across the whole globe now. And so because we're so spread out, we're like a vine of roots. And we have to pay attention to where those roots go. But we also want to make sure that we stay on the base of that tree and keep watering that tree. So it's a matter of really just staying with, and you can stay connected, but do it through personal connections, right. Not through TV,
okay.
Not through media, not through news outlets.
Well,
it helps.
You've had a lot of wonderful, great things to say, and hopefully, I know you know a lot of subjects. I'm sure people are going to want to know a lot more, but we're running out of a little time today because let me tell you why. People don't have the attention span. We're pushing it. We're pushing it at 35 minutes here. People only want like 60 seconds. So, I'm going to say it, right? I'm going to, I'm a no bullshit gal. And so here I am saying it. So I'd love to talk to you some more and then, go from there. I'm sure we will. But I think is there anything else that you want to say that before we cut it?
I think all empaths and anyone that's trying to deal with this really need to embrace the sloth mode of life and slow down just enough, because we need to take on our own energies. And that's the only way that we're going to get there. Just slow down and breathe, and we'll get through this. It's a daily, but it helps.
Well, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on, and I really hope that this helps a lot of people that are out there right now, especially in this time. So now you've heard it from the expert. This is Britt, and hopefully she'll come back again. So we're going to say over and out. Over and out.
Over and out.